A lot of people say, oh, if God would only reveal himself. Who wouldn't like that? So I was thinking, let's say God did reveal himself. What would he have to do to prove to you that he existed? Think about it. Not just you, the entire world. What would God do? Let's say that God appeared to everybody and said, how you doing? I'm God, I'm here, in their own language. Now you might think, that would convince everybody if all of a sudden it got reported in the papers of the world and on radio throughout the world, God appeared to everybody at the same moment in Tagalog, in Swahili, in English, in Spanish, in Verduka, in Finnish, in every language, even in click language, and said, I am the Lord. Would that do it? I'll bet you people would say, nah, not convinced. It's probably a Republican religious right trick. So that wouldn't work. Let's say God would do, I don't know, something else. What do you think God might do? Really think about it. What do you think God could do to prove to you that he exists? I have a thought. What if God cured everybody who had cancer? All of a sudden they got up, hey, no more cancer. Would that do it? No way. How would it do it? People would think that something had happened in the natural world to change it. Anyway, what happens the next day? Would nobody contract cancer forever? Because if, let's say, God did in fact save everybody who had cancer one day and then didn't the next week, we'd go back to the same exact question. How come he let person A die, but he saved person B? Not only does God not exist, but if he does exist, he is very, very temperamental, or at least very capricious. So I am still stumped, and it's something to think about. What would convince everybody in the world that there was a God? And frankly, I don't think that there's anything that God could do. It might work for 10 minutes. It might work for 10 years. But you see, people always ask, what have you done for me lately? And then God would have to do this stuff every day. But if God did this stuff every day, we would say that this is part of the natural process, and so we wouldn't think it was miraculous, because anything that happens every day doesn't seem like a miracle, does it? So I am convinced that there's nothing that God could do that would make his existence absolutely verifiable, absolutely, positively undoubtable by all humans. There is nothing he can do. That's why we have prayers that say, every day your miracles are with us. Because every day there are miracles with us, but we don't think that they're miracles. We don't think that we're miracles, right? Come on, think about it. Oh, well, of course, if you just have enough time on enough planets and you do enough things, then it'll come out. It's like the old one, if you put enough monkeys on enough typewriters, one of them will, in fact, type Shakespeare's play, Hamlet. So guess what? A bunch of scientists in Britain decided to put a lot of monkeys in a room with a lot of keyboards and see what would happen. Now, obviously, they're not going to type Hamlet, but would any of them even type the or it? Well, they did put a lot of monkeys with a lot of keyboards, and they found no words, but a lot of poop on keyboards. And that pretty much ended that particular argument of enough monkeys on enough typewriters, and you will get Hamlet. So it comes down to this. The truth is, there really is nothing that God could do that would absolutely make his existence unquestionable to all of humanity for the rest of humanity's existence. Nothing. And that's why the fact of the matter is, you look at the world and you conclude either, yes, it is a miracle that conscious beings exist, that we didn't go from paramecia to Bach blindly, something did it, or you just conclude it happened on its own. there's nothing he can do to prove himself forever. I'm Dennis Prager.